Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, Brock is back in his old house. Just for this episode, though, we're kind of doing this one on the fly. Brock's got somewhere to be soon, and we just don't have too much time. So in this episode, we're going to be recap or reviewing the AP poll, the very first AP poll that just came out for college football. If you saw it, LSU was ranked number 9, and that is where I'm going to kick it off to Brock. Brock, what do you think about LSU being at number 9?
I'm going to start actually with just saying how stupid the preseason poll is.
Yikes.
Preseason poll is just dumb. It's based solely on who's the biggest brands and who's got the most tradition. And I'll start the main culprit of that is who's actually right behind LSU. Number 10 is the Miami Hurricanes sitting at number 10. They got significantly worse than last year, and they're sitting at number 10. Don't really know how that's I think. I mean, if you look at every other team around them, I mean, Arizona State's behind them at 11. They should be. I mean, they lost Scatterbo, who's a real big piece of that offense, but they're replacing him with a very, very, very good running back, and then they bring back their quarterback and top receiver. So
Mhm.
the preseason ball is stupid. I think they shouldn't rank teams until at least week 3, so they can see everybody play and then rank them. But it's just for clicks and views, which we're giving them right now. So with that being said, we'll go back to LSU at 9. I don't hate it. I mean, a top 10 team, I would take that 100 times out of 100.
Yeah.
LSU is never going to be ranked above Alabama in a preseason poll just because Bama's tradition and the name is so big.
And to be
Um,
fair, Bama skull dragged LSU last year. Like I know it's different, but they did do that. So
and Bama's roster is loaded. I'll give them that. They do have a very, very good roster. But yeah, LSU at 9, I think it's fair. I would have thought they'd probably be in like the 6 to 8 range, but 9, I'm not complaining with that at all. I mean, you're a top 10 team. You can't complain about a top 10 ranking. One thing I do want to, or Connor, you have any thoughts on that LSU before I go on a rant here?
no, I go ahead, go on your rant.
Okay. So for those who haven't seen it, we'll turn this into a clip and we'll pop up a picture of the ranking right here. If you look right there, number 2, you have the Penn State Nittany Lions. Now, they do this every single year. They hype up Penn State to no end. I mean, they're always a top 4 team in the preseason polls every single year. Doesn't
Yep.
matter who's on the team, doesn't matter who's playing. Penn State is always ranked above. How in the world do you have Penn State ranked above Ohio State? Ohio State
Not
coming off a national championship.
Penn
What
State
you got?
has 23 votes. That is two away from Texas from being
That's
number 1.
ridiculous. Like I said, every year they hype up Penn State, and every single year. You want to talk about Brian Kelly not winning the big game? When has James Franklin won a big
Yeah,
game?
what James Franklin.
He's beaten Ohio State one time because he had Saquon Barkley on his team. I mean, last year they had a cakewalk in the CFP with SMU and Boise State. That's the only reason they made it to the semifinals. I mean, what are we doing? Penn State at 2? What, like, Ohio State just won the Natty, and they're bringing back the best player in college football in Jeremiah Smith. Now, yeah, they're replacing a bunch. They replace a bunch every year. Every year, Ohio State replaces everybody, and every year they're good. I just don't understand. Even Clemson's at 4. I don't argue Clemson should be 1. Clemson and Ohio State should both be ahead of Texas and Penn State. But don't even start Texas at 1. You want to talk about name and brand. Oh my God. But I think it should be Clemson 1, Ohio State 2. Like,
The
what are
peop
we doing?
the
Like,
people that are
uh,
ranking the people that are ranking this, they just must not be a believer in the Ohio State quarterback situation. I think Julian Sayin's going to be the starter. And I mean, obviously, the two teams above him. I mean, Arch Manning is crazy, highly touted, and then Drew Aller. Everybody loves Drew Aller in college football for some odd reason. But Penn State being closer to the number 1 team than to Ohio State by 9 votes is absurd. Is absurd.
I mean,
Sorry,
it
12
doesn't make.
votes. 12 votes. Ohio
I
State
mean,
only has 11. Penn State has 23.
yeah, it's unbelievable, and that's not the only rant I'm going to go on. You'll find out real quick after we're done with this. The second rant I'm about to go on. There's Oh my God, Connor told me this last night. I mean, moving on. For those who don't know, we'll tell you all so 1 through 5. Yeah, Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia. 6 through 10, you have Notre Dame, Oregon, Bama, LSU, Miami. Ooh, oh my God. Oh, don't even start on that. Number for 11 through 15, you got Arizona State, Illinois, South Carolina, Michigan, and Florida. And then to round that out, I'll just round them off. SMU at 16, Kansas State, Oklahoma, A&M, Indiana, Ole Miss, Iowa State, Texas Tech, Tennessee, Boise State.
Shout
Another
out my
team that should not be
Cyclones
ranked
for
is Tennessee.
getting on there.
Yeah, I don't know how Tennessee's ranked. They lost
Me
their
neither.
top three. They lost their top three pass catchers and their quarterback, but they're the 24th ranked team.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh my
I
God,
saw that and I was very confused.
it's actually frustrating how bad preseason polls are because they never, ever, ever, ever are right. Never. Do you
I have my
remember when A&M a few years ago when they had the number one recruiting class and all this? They were like a top. I don't want to say top five, but they were very, very highly ranked that year,
uh
and they finished the season 5-7. Like preseason polls are stupid. Wait till week 3 to do a poll. Do not like, man. Oh man.
I got the our
Even
rankings
some,
right here, and I have Tennessee 7-5, and they have them ranked.
yeah. Uh, I mean, I have Oklahoma 6-6. Now I'm kind of slowly hopping on the Oklahoma hype train.
Oklahoma could finish 3-8 now, or 3-9, because now
They do have the yeah. But okay, another team I want to get into that is incredibly disrespecting. South Carolina at 13. I thought for sure they'd get a top 10 team.
yeah,
I mean, last year they finished what? They just outside the playoff at 15, I think it was,
yeah.
and they brought everybody back except they lost Rocket Sanders at running back, but everybody else is coming back.
Did he get drafted?
Uh, yeah, he's on the Chargers
That thing was
actually.
electric.
Uh, Dude, it's like and Michigan at 14. How is Michigan ranked above Florida?
Yeah,
Michigan, you want to talk about a new like Bryce Hunter was never played a single snap in college football. Again, he was
that
the highest recruit probably ever. But come on, man, like Michigan was terrible last season.
that and I heard their wide receiver situation is a nightmare.
Yeah, oh man, Connor, you have anything to say before we keep get
No, I
into
mean I'm gonna
before I lose my mind?
I'm gonna kind of alley oop this rant up to you. Uh, but last night um
Mm.
I was
Mm.
watching something and I saw that so there's four guys. They all had, or three of the four, sorry, had LSU outside of the playoffs. And one of the guys' reasoning was because Garrett Nussmeier is quote unquote injury prone. I don't really know how you can say that when this is kind of the first injury scare he's ever had at LSU. But whenever I texted Brock about it, he was very passionate. So
Listen up, Bud, because that is your name. Your name's Bud. Okay. I don't know his last name. I'm not giving him his last name. Oh my God, Mr. Bud. Name me a time other than 5 days ago when Nussmeier had a little tendonitis, which every athlete ever has that. Name a time before that where he was injured, Bud. Okay, never. He was never. He's not injury prone. He's never been injured in his life. Okay, freshman year he played a little bit and then got redshirted. That's why he didn't play. His sophomore and junior year, he was sitting behind a Heisman winner, okay, in Jaden Daniels. He
yep.
comes back his senior year. He has a pretty good year. He ends the year pretty like a little rough, but he never got injured. I don't know where that narrative came from. And then this year, he's all hyped up. He tweaks his knee a little bit in practice, a little tendonitis. Like I said, we all get it. And he's injury prone. Are you kidding me? Like, what are we talking? Like, tell me you don't pay attention to like other teams without telling me you don't pay attention to other teams. Like, I'm never going to comment on the SMU quarterback because I don't know anything about SMU. So if you don't know anything about LSU or other teams, don't mention them in your playoff prediction. If you want to say, if he would have came out and said, like I had problems with Nuss, he's turnover prone or something like that. Okay, I could see that. He was a little careless with the football, but injury prone? Are you kidding me? He's literally never been injured. Like I don't understand how you can even say that. And like I did text Connor. I could see he did have the missing like the most likely top 12 team to miss the playoffs, I mean, or not be ranked. That one I understand. Sorry, I heard something. That one I understand because LSU's schedule was brutal. But to say he's injury prone, like, come on, man. Do a little bit of research. That's all I got. I'm not
Yeah.
giving that dude anymore.
I feel like saying a team isn't going to be good because a player is injury prone. Like I just feel like that's kind of a lazy argument. Especially since LSU has all this other talent. I mean, obviously quarterback's the most important position, but for your main reasoning being a player's injury prone, I just feel like that's kind of lazy. But another question I
Right.
want to ask you, Brock, is give me a team, I'll give you the top 15 that we're going to do that can exceed expectations and completely plummet. We're going to start off with completely plummet. What you got?
Okay, so completely plummet. I think this is easy. It's Miami.
Yeah.
I don't think Miami's good this year. Plain and simple. Carson Beck's not a good quarterback. Um, and actually, once we're done this, I'll go into that because I saw something where it was like comparing Carson Beck and Garrett Nussmeier, but I'll get into that in a
Oh,
second.
yeah, yeah. I think I saw that too.
I know. Okay, so you'll understand what I'm saying. So that's my team that completely plummet. Just because I don't think Miami's very good. They lost their running back, tight end, and top pass catcher, and their quarterback. Like it's very hard to replace. And then the team that I had to surge, Connor, I don't think I ever mentioned it to you. I forgot to mention it in our college football playoff pod, or yeah, is the Illinois Fighting Illini.
Really?
They could be sneaky good. They could be sneaky good this year.
They're
Their
already
schedule's
at number
pretty
12.
easy. They do have, I know, which is crazy because I don't remember them being talked about them. Well, another thing with preseason polls, but still, I know they play Ohio State, which other than that, like I'll have to go back and look, but their schedule is relatively easy in
They
the Big
go to
Ten.
Bloomington, Indiana.
That's gonna be okay. So that and Ohio, do you have the schedule pulled up?
Yep.
Okay, so they do play Ohio State though, right? They play Ohio State, Indiana.
Yes, that's it. Then they have the run-of-the-mill Big Ten teams. You got Northwestern, Wisconsin, Maryland, Rutgers, Washington.
So if Illinois goes 10-2, or if they split between Indiana, who I think is going to have a down, not a down year, a down year, yes, actually, only because they went 12-0 last year or 11-1.
Yeah.
I think they regress a little bit. If Illinois can split between Ohio State and Indiana, they're going to be in the playoff at 11-1. So I think Brett Bielema was a great coach. They have Luke Altmaier, who somebody said is the Garrett Nussmeier of the Big Ten, and it's somebody that I've actually respect and watch a lot. So we'll see. We'll watch after that. Being that he stuck around, he was at Ole Miss, then transferred to Illinois, and he's coming on. He's a gunslinger, stuff like that. So that's my two. So I think Miami plummets; they're the most likely to plummet, and Illinois is the most likely to surge. Connor,
Yeah.
what you got?
Yeah, so my team is also Miami. I mean, for all the reasons you mentioned, Miami being at number 10 to me is kind of outrageous. And I got the team right under Illinois. That's the South Carolina Gamecocks. We've talked about, you and I have talked about South Carolina in other episodes. Look, I think South Carolina, obviously their schedule is brutal just because it's in the SEC. Every SEC team
Yeah.
schedule is really tough. But look, if South Carolina can finish 10-2, like they could easily finish top five in the college football playoff.
Well, top five's crazy, but if you go ten
If
and two in
if
the
they
SEC,
finish
you're
ten
in.
and two with some signature wins,
Yeah, I don't know about top five. Top 10, I can see it. If you go 10-2 in the SEC, you're in the playoff. There's no question about it.
exactly.
Um, I am a little. I try not to say South Carolina just because we've talked about it so much. I try to pick a team that we haven't really talked about.
Well,
But
yeah, I don't think
that's a
we've
great
ever
pick.
talked
Don't
about
really like.
Illinois.
I know. So those are our two teams. Yeah, those are our teams to surge and regress. The final thing I want to get into. So there was a stat, or not a stat. There was like a comparison, and it was saying the headline was one guy we say had a down, or they're saying one guy had a down, he's going up, had a down year or something, and one guy's a Heisman finalist or something like that. And it was comparing Carson Beck and Garrett Nussmeier, and
Hmm.
they had them both of their stats pulled up, and they were like pretty much exactly the same. I think both of them had 39, 29 touchdowns and 12 picks or something like that. I don't remember the QE in my head when I saw that. So that last year when they had those stats, that was Carson Beck's third year starting college football. Last year was Garrett Nussmeier's first year starting in college football. How can you say that Carson Beck, with the best roster around him, the second best roster last year, other than Texas, had a down year when, he did statistically he had a down year, but it was with the second best roster in the country, and he did that. And then Garrett Nussmeier with probably one of LSU's, um, would you argue this probably one of their weaker rosters in recent memory?
Definitely in
Is that
recent
crazy to
memory.
say?
Definitely in recent
Yeah.
memory.
And he had the same stats as Carson Beck. Like, How can you compare those two? It just kind of baffled me. And now Carson Beck's going to a weaker roster in a weaker conference, which could benefit him. But still, like, and Garrett Nussmeier has probably the best roster LSU's had since 2019. That's not really that's just a fact. This is the best roster LSU's had since 2019, top to bottom. It's not the best offense because the best offense was in
Yeah,
2023.
receiver rooms 100%. There's been better receiver rooms.
Yeah, but well, it's been better, but it hasn't been deeper. I'll say
Well,
that.
yeah.
LSU's receiver is so deep, it's not even funny.
Hmm.
Um, and then even the defense, top to bottom, is light years ahead of any. I would argue this defense is just as talented as 2020 or 2019. And 2019's defense was okay. I know you're making that face. If you look at it, 2019 defense was not that good.
You
It
know how
was
many
just the offense.
people like got drafted?
No, no, I know that the names on it were unbelievable. Like, but and we haven't seen this year yet. But I
No, we
mean,
haven't, but
look at the
that's a
names.
statement.
Look at the names this year: Harold Perkins, the Weeks brothers, Patrick Payton off the edge, Jack Pyburn off the edge. The cornerback you got DJ Pickett, the 5-star freshman. Who
Hmm.
you want to do some comparisons? Who was the 5-star freshman? I mean, so comparisons 2019, 2025. You had a 5-star freshman corner, Stingley and Pickett. You had two rocks at linebacker with Jacob Phillips and Patrick Queen. You got Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins. Your safety, well, the safeties are transfers, so I guess you can't exactly do the same. But there are a lot of similarities between these two teams. You have Patrick Payton, Caleb on Chase on. I mean, I might have just started something. Okay, you never know. I don't even know where I was going with that. Probably Carson Beck and Garrett Nussmeier. That's all I got. I mean, what we really wanted to do this pod to do. This was originally just going to be a top 25 pod until Connor sent me that last night, and I was like, I'm going to talk about this on the pod. But I mean, that's all I got. Connor, you have any final things before we get out of here?
Yeah, just one last thing. Another team I think could shoot up. I just was looking at it while you were kind of going on that rant. Texas Tech, I mean, they spent a ton of money in the transfer portal. I definitely think Texas Tech could finish top 10 if they win some big games in the Big 12.
Oh,
So,
let's talk about. I'm shocked. Let's talk about some of the teams that just missed that. I know you had it pulled up right there.
oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. Okay.
while you're pulling up, so some hometown teams, Tulane and ULL. They both got some votes to get in the top 25. I don't know how Tulane did get in the top 25. That's another thing. They never put group of five teams in the preseason polls. I mean, Boise State got in
Every
strictly because they made the playoff last year.
exactly.
I'll put my money. Like if they didn't make the playoff last year, they would not be ranked right now. And they
Yeah.
gave them 25. Like, the amount of like okay, so the same guy who I said is very respected, who said that Altmaier and Garrett Nussmeier are very similar, also said that Tulane's going to go into Oxford and beat Ole Miss. You know who else said that?
Brock,
Me, me. I said that. I said
did it
that.
did it happen yet?
So I mean, look. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
Look,
So we'll see.
I mean,
I cannot
Tulane
wait to watch
definitely,
that
I
game.
mean,
Oh my God! If Rice loses it,
wait, what?
I said if Ole Miss loses that game, I'm gonna have a field day on that Monday.
Oh yeah, I
Oh my
know.
God! You
Uh,
got
but Tulane has a ton of talent. I mean, especially now they have Jake Retzloff. I really think the sky's the
yeah.
limit for the Wave this year. And dude, that would be absolutely electric if they won that game.
Can you imagine a Tulane LSU playoff game? Like if LSU gets the 5 seed and Tulane gets the 12 seed,
Dude,
and Tulane has
oh
to
my
come
God,
into Baton Rouge,
that would be fire.
that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
And I, but that, and I like know the Tulane coach personally, so that'd be like even extra cool. Just to like as somebody that I know is
Yeah.
playing like the school I go to. It's kind of great, and it's two Louisiana teams. Tulane and LSU had played in God knows how maybe '07. I don't even know. They should bring that back. We should start a petition, Connor. The Big Easy Boys to start a petition. Bring back the Tulane LSU rivalry because it would be a good rivalry
It
nowadays
would be
with the
it would
NFL.
be a huge rivalry right now if frickin' Tulane didn't leave the SEC 60 years ago.
Well, that's. I mean, you know who else was in the SEC 60 years ago? Sewanee.
Really?
Yeah, you don't even know what Sewanee is. Like that's a false. I'm just saying like LSU and Tulane should play
Wait,
every year.
was
So that
Sewanee
would be
actually in the SEC?
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was ages ago when all they did was run the ball, but yeah, they were in the SEC.
Um,
Um, and
well,
probably won
one
SEC
last team I
championship.
want to get into is the Toledo Rockets are receiving 13 votes. So, what you got,
The
Brock?
one thing I was gonna say, Sewanee probably has more. SEC championships than Ole Miss, A&M. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Um, but yeah, that's all we got today on
Yep.
today's pod. You will see one more episode here, and then Sunday you'll see us in Baton Rouge.
Crazy.
Um, Times are changing. You
Big
might
things
see us in
coming.
a different location, not just a dorm room. Might be something else coming.
Hmm.
Stay in tune for stay on the lookout for that. There you go. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, all the usuals. TikTok's growing. You're getting a lot of followers recently. I don't know who's been. I guess our videos are getting out there. Um, um, but yeah, keep it coming. We love it. Maybe if we see people tonight, please come up to us. It is actually amazing.
Yep.
Connor, you got to experience it the first time last week.
Yeah, I
That
did.
sounds college and everything, but you have no idea how cool that
We
feels. I'm
set the
just telling
line
you
at
that already.
5.5, and 11 people came up to us by the end of the
Yes,
night. So
that makes us sound like jerks. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, you don't
nice.
have to come up to
No
us.
one
I
cares.
promise
We
you.
don't judge.
If you
Nobody
don't,
judges.
yeah, if you don't come up to us, I promise you, I do not care.
Yeah.
Like, but anyway, thank you for watching episode 38. I don't even think we mentioned that in the
Yeah,
intro.
38.
Um, we will see you Friday for episode 39. Don't know what we're going to talk about yet. We'll figure it out.
We'll
If you
figure it
want,
out.
leave some comments if you want to see us, what you want to see us talk about, because we're open ears.
All of
So
it.
we'll see y'all then. Thank you all for watching. Peace out.
We'll see y'all later. Peace.